Hello, my name is Alexia and I'm working with my classmate Carolina López, and we are going to present our evidence tree. Now I am going to explain the male reproductive organs. First, we have the penis that conduct the urine out of the body. Then we have the testes that secrete the hormone and produces the sperm. Then we have the scrotum that regulates the temperature of the body. Then, mentira, no es del body. Then we have the scrotum here that regulates the temperature of the testes. Then we have the vas deferens that are here, this one, that transport the mature sperm to the urethra. And then we have the epididymis that transport and store sperm cells produced in the testes. And last, we have the ureterus that transport urine that is stored in the bladder here out of the body. Now I am going to explain the path of the sperm to the urethra. First, the sperm is produced in the testes. Then it goes to the epididymis and it passes through the vas deferens to the abdominal cavity, and then finally goes out of the body. During the ejaculation, the sperm leaves when it leaves the penis, it is called semen. Okay, now I'm going to explain the external genitals. First, we have the penis that I already explained. It is a conduct that from here it passes the urine to leave the body. Then we have the urethra that connects the urinary bladder to the penis. And finally, we have the scrotum that regulates the temperature of the testes. The organs of the seminal fluid are the prostate glands, that their function is to secrete prostate fluids, and it is the composition of semen. Then we have the seminal vesicle that play a major role in the production of semen, because the semen is a fluid produced only in the male reproductive system. And finally, we have the bulboretral gland, that it is below the prostate and it is in each side of the urethra. Now the hormonal regulation in the males. First, in the hypothalamus, it controls the function of the testes. It is secreted to the GnRH that secretes the anterior pituitary glands. To secrete then two types of hormones, the LH and the FSH. And this can happen in both men and women. And the types of hormones, as we see here, are three. The FSH is the production of semen. Then the LH is the production of testosterone. And the testosterone is the main sex hormone in the males.
So now we have the female reproduction system that consists of the uterus, that is a hollow muscular organ about the size and shape of an inverted pear. It is lined with a vascular tissue called the endometrium, and this is where the embryo is embedded when it reaches the uterus in a process called implantation. Then we have the vagina that is right here, that is a long muscular tube that lies at the 45-degree angle to a lower back. It receives the penis during sexual intercourse and serves as both the birth canal and the exit for the monthly menstrual flow. Then we have the cervix, that it widens during childbirth to allow the passage of the baby. It also allows for the passage of menstruation, and sperm needs to travel through the cervix in order to reach the uterus. Then we have the urinary bladder. The urinary bladder is a muscular sac in the pelvis just above the behind pubic bone. The bladder stores urine, allowing urination to be infrequent and controlled. Then we have the ovary, that is right here. They are located in the lower abdomen and both sides of the uterus. Women have 2 ovaries that produces eggs as well as the hormones estrogens and progesterone. Then we have the fallopian here. Either of a pair of tubes along which eggs travel from ovaries to the uterus. Then we have the urethra. It's a tube that connects the urinary bladder to the urinary meatus for the removal of urine from the body. Then we have the rectum. Is the final segment of the large intestine that connects the colon to the anus. It stores fecal matter produced in the colon until the body is ready to eliminate the waste through the process of defecation. Okay, the ovaries produce the female egg cell called the ova or oocytes. The oocytes are then transported to the fallopian tube where fertilization by a sperm may occur. The fertilized egg then moves to the uterus where the uterine lining has thickened in response to the normal hormones and the reproductive cycle. Fertilization of the egg with the sperm takes place in the oviduct. Okay, then we have the female external genitalia. We have the mons pubis. Is the rounded eminence made by fatty tissue beneath the skin, lying in front of the pubic symphysis. Then we have the labia majora. The labia majora are 2 thick folds of skin running from the mons pubis to the anus. The other sides of the labia are covered with pigmented skin, sebaceous glands, and after puberty, coarse hair. Then we have the labia minora. There are 2 smaller folds of skin between the labia majora surrounding the vestibule of the vagina. They have either fat nor hairs. The skin is smooth, moist, and pink, and has sebaceous and sweet glandules. Then we have the Bartholin's glands, are located on each side of the vagina opening. They are about the size of a pea, and they produce fluids that keep the vagina moist. And finally, in this part, we have the clitoris, that is a part of the front of a woman's sexual organ where she can feel sexual pleasure. Then we have the hypothalamus pituitary gland. This is a gland that helps to regulate the function of other endocrine glands. The pituitary gland has 2 parts, the anterior lobe and the posterior lobe. They have 2 very separate functions. The hypothalamus sends signals to the pituitary to release or inhibit pituitary hormones production. And now we have the hormonal regulation of the female reproductive system. The hormones controlling the female reproduction system includes gonadotropin releasing hormone GnRH, follicle stimulating hormone FSH, and luteinizing hormone LH, all of which are produced in the brain estrogen and progesterone reproduced by the ovaries and the corpus luteum, and human chronic gonadotropin HCA. During the ovarian cycle, happens the follicular phase. The FSH released by the anterior pituitary gland stimulates the development of a follicle in one of the ovaries. And then we have the ovulation, that is the release of the secondary oocyte from the follicle and into the oviduct. And after ovulation, the luteal phase begins. During the luteal phase, LH promotes the development of the corpus luteum, which consists of the follicle cells left behind. Finally, we have the uterine cycle that consists in menstruation that lasts from day 1 to about day 5 and consists of the breakdown of the endometrium with blood passing out of the vagina. Then we have the proliferative phase that is from day 6 to 13 and consists of the build of the endometrium, which becomes more vascular and glandular. And finally, we have the secretory phase. It's from day 15 to day 28 and consists of the endometrium doubling or tripling in thickness.
Okay, now I am going to explain some birth control methods that we have here. The male condom, it prevents the sperm to reach the female tract. And then we have the female condom that are 2 rings. One fits in the cervix and the other is laying down outside. Then we have the coitus interruptus, that is interruption before ejaculation. And then we have the calendar rhythm method, that is planning, natural planning, when in a calendar looking when are the dates that are more possible to get pregnant. And we have the pills that are taken after sex. And last, the diaphragm that fits in the cervix and stops the sperms to pass through the cervix.
Some more birth control methods that are abstinence, which consists on not having any sexual contact. Vasectomy, that is the sterilization in males, like for them to do not let any sperm to happen, or part of each was difference is removed, so the sperm is no longer reach the exterior, like I say, like nothing comes out. Tubal ligation, both oviducts are tied off and cut, so the sperm can't reach the oocytes. Then we have the oral contraception that contains various mixtures of estrogens and progestins, prevent pregnancy by negative feedback, and also prevent the development of the follicle and estrogen doesn't rise. Contraceptive implants that are small flexible plastic rods that's placed under the skin in your upper arm by a doctor or a nurse, that it releases the hormone progesterone into your bloodstream to prevent pregnancy and lasts for 3 years. So it's something like small and it's put in right here, so it releases hormones. And then we have the U, that is a small object made of plastic, copper or stainless steel inserted into the uterus. This causes changes in the endometrium that prevents the implantation of a fertilized egg. And that's it for the birth control methods. So thank you, and yeah.